did you think of that? Like, did you see the thing with like the whoosh? What do you think of that? I got a subscription to this site that like has stuff like that, like graphics like that, and I was messing with it, and I think it looks kind of cool. I didn't really do any work except change the text, but I couldn't have even done that like a couple months ago. So that's something I've learned from making videos. It's probably too much. My daily vlogs are so informal that putting fancy graphics on them feels super egregious. But at least this time, like, I like that so much. Good afternoon. It is 4:15 in the afternoon on September 18th, 2020. I'm awake. Like the last few days were just so bad. You know, I talked about it. I don't really want to talk about it again. For contrast, I feel a lot better today. Focus, still isn't really here for me. It's not like super good, but it's so much better than it was a couple days ago. And I'm not like sleeping all day. And so that's excellent. I only had a couple of anxiety incidents today. Just, it's so nice not feeling as awful as I have been. I took a shower and I trimmed my hair a bit, unevenly, but I like to imagine that it looks like a deliberate, choppy, rockstar Muppet thing. I hope it looks like I did it on purpose. It's my style, is to be all jaggy and uneven. I spent like all day working today, and I think that's a lot of the reason that I feel good is because lately, for months really, I have not been able to push through and do a whole day's work. It just, every time I've come across some problem in my books or whatever, it's just instantly I've just shut down and haven't been able to work up the mental energy to get through the entire problem, like whatever problem my book is presenting. And so, I would fix problems in my books as I come across them, but it would take so long because it would be spread out over many days, and that made it so hard to keep up on, like to kind of keep track of what I needed to do. And then I always felt so bad for not being, for having struggled for so hard and so long on something minor that I never really felt like accomplished when I was done. That sucked. But today, through a truly staggering amount of willpower for me, I worked like most of the day while my kids were at school. And I got through this one big knotted part of my romance novel where nothing was like I knew it wasn't right, but I couldn't figure out how. And I knew I needed to pull something out, but then I didn't know what needed to go in there to make all the arcs happen in the right order. Like, you generally, when I'm writing, and I think probably for most writers, you want to escalate tension. And so if you have the rising action coming up, and then if you have something really bad happen, here, it's very exciting, but unless your tension is prepared to go up from there, it's then sort of lackluster and unexciting when it gets back down. So I had one of those moments where it was like escalating and I was like, oh, and then it was too early in the book for the characters to feel the consequences of that big dramatic moment. So I had to yank it out and figure out what was more appropriate for the level of tension at that point in the book. And it wasn't anything super fancy or exciting that I can really describe to you. It was just a lot of little character moments shifted around. I also have a bunch of, I mean, not a bunch, but I have enough subplots in this book to juggle where I have to also make sure that the tension in those escalates appropriately. Not like this kind of thing, but like this kind of thing. God, me drawing with my finger on the screen. How helpful and educational for you guys. I'm sure you can visualize what I'm trying to say. So the book is coming along. It's not going to be the last knotted up part. Since I moved the one big leap in tension, since I pulled it out, I now have to put it back in somewhere else. But the conversations that happen to it have to totally change because the context changes. So I know that's going to hold me up when I get there. But this should be one of those two moments, kind of should be the last really knotted parts of the book. And I've been revising as I go through quite in depth to a degree I usually don't. Or I try not to because it slows things down. So by the time I get through to the end, the last third of the book will be a little bit rougher to read, just on sentence and word level construction, because I won't have massaged as much as the earlier parts, but it's really solid. The story will be really solid. The book will be effectively ready to be seen by other people. I'll probably, I'm really, really hoping to finish it by next Friday. Another reason that my mood is a bit better today is that the air is better today. We got a bunch of wind blowing through. So yesterday the air quality was around 180. Today it has gotten down to 80. And that is still not great for someone who has asthma, which I do. But it's so much better. Like, I'm hoping to go for a walk soon. I just kind of hate wind. It's catch-22. I hate being blown around all the time because Nevada has kind of a mean wind. I don't mind those like big wet winds that come off the ocean so much, but in Nevada we're getting these dusty winds off of the desert that kind of feel like they're punching you, and so I'm just like not a fan. Or if you're not getting like the sandy mean winds, you're getting surprisingly cold dry winds. But I will take any wind over being stuck in my house at this point. I should go soon because even though it's not quite 4:30 as I record this, it's starting to be dark by 7. Like, how did that time change go so fast? It felt like the last month just straight up didn't happen, just in a blink. You know, we went from long summer days to like, bam, it's autumn. And I know there was more of a transition over the last month. I guess didn't feel it or see it because I was stuck inside with all the smoke, feeling apocalyptic. Normally I'm outside constantly this time of year. It's some of my favorite weather. Now I've talked myself into going for a walk. So I'm going to end this here and edit it and get it rendering and get outside. I'll maybe see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be even closer to finishing this stupid book that I love so much and everybody's going to really enjoy. Bye!